There are few people involved in the rise of Games Workshop to popular appeal that are as well known among our generation as Paul Sawyer. Few people who you could look to and see the passion for fun gameplay on the tabletop. Every article in White Dwarf that Paul oversaw had that joyous energy to convey the excitement for playing on a table with little plastic and metal models. I started reading White Dwarf because my dad had a subscription to the magazine, and the bright covers and stunning art really drew me in. The issues I remember most and remember most fondly had Paul Sawyer as editor. Paul Sawyer, sometimes going under the nickname of Fat Bloke, was the first person I recognised by name to be involved in Warhammer at Games Workshop. Unlike other people who worked at Games Workshop who eventually got a bad rep by being involved in an unpopular codex, Paul Sawyer remained loved and respected by the vast majority of Warhammer fans. When he split from Games Workshop in 2007 and founded Warlord Games, a lot of people went with him because they knew he was a safe pair of hands. Or at least a good pair of hands. Or maybe it wouldn't go perfectly, but with Paul Sawyer, it would be fun. And when you are talking about war games, fun is what is most important. Whenever I talk to people about White Dwarf, the issues they remember are 215 with the Bretonnian jousting rules, the first issue edited by Paul Sawyer. Those jousting rules have been re-released recently by Games Workshop. My favourite issue, and many other people's favourite issue, is White Dwarf 222 from June 1998, which had the follow-on Last Stand at Glazer's Creek, the Rock's Drift to Big Tooth's Isle Delwana. Paul played the Praetorian Guard fending off wave after wave of orc attacks, something I would go on to do at least once in every edition of 40k with my own Praetorian Guard platoon. Then 2 platoons, then company with attached artillery and tank elements. All through the battle report, Paul pulled these faces that would make a YouTube thumbnail creator weep with jealousy. He knew how to convey emotion in both photos and the written word. People also remember how he was in the Tale of 4 Warlords, a competition to build an army over several months, and he spent the last of his money on a bacon sandwich. He was a big part of why I even considered Warhammer as a hobby, and why, despite the downs of being a 40k fan, why I keep going and finding the fun ways to play. Legends can't be used in tournaments? Doesn't matter. I will find the fun in the rules, and will make poorly performing video after poorly performing video about why you should use the units that are fun for you. Paul Sawyer was the person who helped set that initial tone for me going into the hobby. And I don't know if he will still be alive long enough to know that. I need this video to not suck, to get the tone right and keep that. Not doing my usual rug pull and making it all about an arbitrary silly reason, but recognizing my, and your, genuine feelings. I didn't know Paul Sawyer. I have never met Paul Sawyer. And I'm not likely to. But what has happened to Paul feels oddly personal, oddly familial. In April 2024, Paul collapsed in what was suspected to be a stroke. But the initial tests found that instead it was a form of brain cancer. Paul put out a message with his familiar self-deprecating humour as he reported that he had about 12 months to live before the tumour has its way with his puny brain. So Paul Sawyer is not gone yet. He will still be gaming with people, he will still be encouraging people to play as many things as possible, and he will be encouraging you to have fun. I'm glad that I have this YouTube channel to share my feelings with you. And I know you will let your feelings be known in the comments too, so that if Paul ever sees this video, which is unlikely, he knows that he did a good job inspiring people to do more gaming and less working. Thank you. You were a reason that I had so many great days of 40k.